At the tender age of 16, Yvonne Akinyi was employed as a child domestic worker in order to raise money for her education. Apart from being subjected to verbal and physical abuse, she also worked long hours for little or no pay. Despite all this, she was able to overcome the challenges. Yvonne now works for Center for Domestic Training and Development as a project officer, where she is pioneering efforts to equip domestic workers with skills, knowledge and tools to enhance their opportunities to access decent employment work in the domestic and household sector. Her story is next on our weekly segment, Women and Power.
I grew up in Mukuru Kayaba. Nothing gives me joy such as sharing my story, because it's through my story that lives have been changed. And it was also through me hearing another person's story that my life was changed. My name is Yvonne Akinyi, and I happened to lose my parents at a very early age. And after clearing my high school, I was I wanted to continue with my studies, but it seemed to have been a challenge because of finances. And at that moment, what came into my mind was doing domestic work, so that at least I could raise something to cater for my school fees. So I started doing domestic work at the age of 16 years. My salary was 5,000 a month. My then employer had a tendency that wherever it's about 20th or 25th, they could claim that there is a day I cooked a food and it had a lot of salt. Sometimes I'd broken some glasses. So towards when it's payday, the salary would be deducted. So at times I would even end up with 3,000 Kenyan shillings. But since I had no choice, I had to persevere. I worked there for a minimum of 1.5 years. I experienced a lot of abuse. I worked as a domestic worker for 3 years, but by the end of 3 years, I'd only saved around 5,000, which could not clearly cater for my tuition fee. I happened to come across a church which paid for my certificate, and I did certificate in social work and community development. Monday to Friday, I used to go to school. Then Saturday, weekends, that is on Saturday and Sunday, I had a client that I was doing for them, the domestic work.
Folding or hanging? Yes.
I was informed by my classmates that there is a seminar for women, and in Mukuru, I attended the seminar, and that was a game changer. It was in that seminar that I realized even domestic workers have their rights, and it was in that seminar that I realized that domestic workers have minimum wage. We were trained about laundry work, housekeeping, child care, and they saw the potential in me. And can I say that I was promoted from just a regular participant to a hub leader? So I was in charge of mobilizing domestic workers to attend forums, to attend trainings. So I did that for 2 years.
When it happened,
an opportunity came from the organization where they wanted a field officer under the domestic workers transformation pillar. And since I had a certificate in social work and community development, I sent in my CVs, and I was shortlisted for interview. And here I am today. I work at Center for Domestic Training and Development as a project officer under the domestic workers transformation pillar. I'm very passionate about domestic work, because actually most of people see domestic work as the last option, but we are working towards ending the narrative that demeans domestic work, because actually domestic work is a profession just like other professions. I saw the need of upgrading myself. Right now I'm pursuing a diploma in social work and community development. I'm going to degree, and I just want to be all-rounded in this field.